world, who can solve them? Xie Feng. July 2, 2025. The first challenge, to create an ant, or a single blade of grass. The second challenge, to bring together 80 people from entirely different cultural, religious, ethnic, and life backgrounds, and have them live joyfully under one roof, eating from the same pot, and coexisting in peace. To make the elderly, the middle-aged, the young, and the children all live happily, freely, and blissfully together. Who can do this? With the guidance of higher beings, humans may one day create silicon-based life. But can they create carbon-based life? They cannot, because they do not possess the source of spirit. Many great scientists have emerged throughout history, including Nobel laureates. Yet who among them has created even a single carbon-based life form? No one. In 5,000 years of human civilization, what religion, what culture, what emperor, what philosopher, politician, sociologist, or so-called great figure has ever created a model of life so heavenly that all long to emulate it? None. Why not? Because certain essential elements have always been missing. The theories are flawed, and the practice incomplete. Even Robert Owen's New Harmony, beautiful in its inception, collapsed in less than 4 years. The one who can solve the first challenge must be a god. The one who can solve the second must be a messenger of the greatest creator. Don't believe it? Try it yourself. How do you see this way of elder care? Xie Feng. July 19, 2025. In the natural course of life, everyone grows old. As the years pass, physical strength, vitality, and spirit all gradually decline. Many fall ill, some lie bedridden, needing someone nearby for care and support. If no one is there to care for them, the final years can be filled with loneliness and sorrow. Some elders pass away in silence, their absence unnoticed for days. Only when their bodies begin to decay and emit a foul smell do others become aware. Few on this earth can say with certainty that their twilight years will be joyful, fulfilling, and serene. In the past, people relied on their children for elder care. But with the advance of urbanization and the young leaving home for distant jobs, even those with children often cannot count on filial companionship. In reality, today's young and middle-aged are already overwhelmed by the pressures of survival. Simply staying alive each day drains their sweat and soul. It's not that they don't wish to stay by their parents' side. But their hardships are unspeakable, the heart is willing, but strength is not enough. When children can no longer be depended on, those with means turn to nursing homes. But to speak frankly, a nursing home often becomes a place to wait for death. Such a life holds no flavor, no joy, only helpless resignation. It is not a path chosen from the heart, but one taken when all other doors are closed. Even with filial children, hired caregivers, or diligent staff, the bitter truths of old age are hard to voice. Those who truly pass their final years in peace and joy are very, very few. But imagine another way of elder care. A community where elders chat joyfully with peers each day. Surrounded by middle-aged adults, young people, and cheerful children who bring laughter, life, and boundless energy. Where cooking, laundry, and cleaning are lovingly handled by others. Where elders with energy can contribute what they are able. Each month brings evenings of music, laughter, and joyful games. Brothers and sisters of the soul gather, their laughter echoing like bells in the heart. Bedding and clothes are washed with care. Kind souls assist with bathing. When walking is no longer possible, warm meals are brought to the bedside. Always with a smile, never with complaint. And when life draws to a close, gentle hands handle everything with grace and love. Chanting and blessings guide the departing soul. In such a setting, most who pass are bound for heaven. Here, death is no longer a thing of fear, but a joyous threshold, longed for in peace. What do you think of such a way of elder care? Do you believe such a life could truly exist on earth? Let me tell you the truth. This life has already existed in this world, for more than 10 years. But can every elder enjoy such a life? No. Only those whose souls have been purified can dwell in such a paradise of elder life. Ignite the sacred light within. Xiefeng. June 26, 2025. Only by igniting the sacred light within can we enter the blissful homeland. Where is this blissful homeland? It is the Elysium world, the celestial islands continent of the Elysium world. How can we search for and come to know the true existence of this homeland? Through our own personal experience and direct perception. Once we have truly felt and experienced it, all becomes clear. How do we experience and perceive it? There are 3 paths. One path is through sacred union with the opposite sex. When lovemaking reaches its peak, the ecstasy of climax opens the gate to revelation. Another path is to behold supreme beauty, the majestic landscapes of rivers and mountains, breathtaking paintings and beings, and soul-stirring music. The third path is to set foot upon the journey of pilgrimage. The pilgrimage is the path to the blissful homeland, prostrating with every step, moving forward toward the sacred place within one's heart. But how do we recognize the sacred place our heart longs for? First, one must ignite the sacred light within. And how does one ignite this sacred light? By wholly offering oneself, body, heart, and soul, to the one whom one reveres with awe, trust, and devotion. By relinquishing the self, by dying to the self. At the very moment of complete surrender, when nothing of the self remains, the sacred light within is instantly lit. Once this sacred light is kindled, it marks the beginning of the pilgrimage. How does one walk the path of pilgrimage? The most vivid example is that of the Tibetan pilgrim, who, without hesitation, travels thousands of miles, prostrating every 3 steps over gravel, rubble, meadows, streams, rivers, snowfields, mountains, and open plains, advancing toward Lhasa or the sacred Mount Kangrenbok. When the knees are torn and bleeding, and the hands frozen stiff, one continues forward, supporting oneself with the elbows. Whether faced with wind, clouds, rain, snow, wolves, insects, tigers, or leopards, one presses on without retreat, leaving no path behind to turn back. On the pilgrimage path, there is no doubt. No fear. No glittering lights or worldly indulgence. No status, wealth, or reputation. No death, only transcendence. No attachment to what lies behind. No clinging to the mundane world. No worry, no excitement, no sorrow, no resentment. The heart remains still as calm water. The hardship along the way, and everything seen around, stirs not even a ripple within. In such a state of body, mind, and soul, one has already arrived at the blissful homeland. Thus we see, to set foot upon the pilgrimage path is to embark on the journey of a lifetime. It is not about whether one reaches Lhasa, or Kangrenbok, or Mecca. If the body dies while on the path, that is the most beautiful and ideal conclusion. For true life has already returned to the blissful homeland. In this new era, AI will gradually take over the management and stewardship of Earth. Humankind must learn to live more and more in the world of spirit and soul. And the sign that one has truly begun the pilgrimage path is this. They have become a Chanyuan celestial. All Chanyuan celestials are walking on the path of pilgrimage. The best path to heaven. Xiefeng. July 19, 2025. If one lives a full and smooth life to the age of 80, they will have lived for 29,200 days. 1/3 of that time is spent in unconscious sleep. Another 11 years are consumed in infancy, early childhood, and youth, years in which autonomy is limited. This leaves no more than 16,800 days of true conscious and self-directed living. So how can one reach heaven within these 16,800 days? If one's life does not lead toward heaven, and if after departing the human world one still cannot arrive in heaven, then any way of living is but animalistic. Those who do not live with heaven as their aim are, in essence, not truly human, but rather beings driven by instinct, pitiful worms crawling through life, moved only by impulse. Any form of life that does not lead to heaven is unworthy of celebration or admiration. To deny the existence of heaven is as foolish as denying the existence of one's ancestors. To be unaware of heaven is like not knowing where color ritual ignorance.
Ask those who have lived for over a year in the first, third, or fourth branches of Life Chen Yuan's second home, practicing strictly according to Chen Yuan values.
They will affirm with certainty, heaven is real, because they have come close to it and tasted its fragrance. There are many roads that lead to heaven. But to walk one of them completely within the narrow span of 16,800 days, one must choose the best path. Otherwise, life will end while the journey is still incomplete. So, where is the best path to heaven? First, we must understand what qualifies someone to enter heaven. I can clearly tell you this. Anyone who meets the following three conditions is eligible for heavenly life. All debts have been repaid, and worldly ties fully resolved. Enough merit has been accumulated. The soul has been purified, and the quality of life has reached perfection. This is easy to understand, but very difficult to accomplish. Without certain favorable conditions, it is extremely hard to meet these three requirements, because we only have 16,800 days. To complete such profound work within such a limited time is nearly impossible. Why? Because in the process of repaying debts, one may unknowingly fall into new ones. In accumulating merit, one may also create new karmic burdens. And in purifying the soul, one might unknowingly stray from the path. I have surveyed all the various paths and ways recorded throughout human history, and in the end, I discovered. Only by replicating the model of the 1,000-year world of heaven here on earth. Only by allowing people to live within this structure. Can one easily and naturally fulfill all three conditions. Therefore, we have found the best path to heaven. Become a Chanyuan celestial, and live in the second home established by Life Chanyuan. This truth is crystal clear in the hearts of Chanyuan celestials. But the world does not know. And it is hard for the world to know. Walking the path of celestial beings and Buddhas, a life beyond adversity. Xiefeng. July 20, 2025. Where there is ego and self-interest, life is filled with adversity. Where there is no self, the journey is a panorama of beauty. When fear takes root in the heart, adversity follows at every step. When fear dissolves, even a prison becomes a radiant landscape. Attachment brings adversity. Letting go and flowing with destiny, even the edge of a cliff becomes a stage for dance. When desire and greed dominate, heaven turns into hell. Without craving or attachment, even prison becomes heaven. Adversity or ease, both are reflections of the heart. When the heart transforms the world, one becomes a celestial being. Thus, the celestial being knows no adversity. To understand cause and effect is to taste sweetness in all things. To ignore cause and effect is to burn with resentment. By tasting the bitter fruit, one dissolves the roots of karma. The Tao is just and impartial. Heaven's net is vast and flawless, none escape reward or retribution. Meet all encounters with joy, nothing happens without cause. To become a celestial being or a Buddha is to shift one's scenery at will. If the material world turns harsh, move into the spiritual world. If the spiritual realm is under siege, abide in the soul. The soul's world is untouched by others, untouched by circumstance. A boundless space where thought roams free. In that sacred inner world, all disappointments in the outer world become illusions. Whether hungry, imprisoned, or threatened by demons. The soul remains free. Even if a demon presses a gun to your forehead, you smile and say, "Go ahead. Thank you for fulfilling my journey." To be unafraid of death, to long for it, is to see beauty along every step of life's path. To fear death and flee from it is to live as a slave and regret your days. As the Heart Sutra declares, when Avalokiteshvara Bodhisattva practiced deeply the Prajnaparamita, he perceived that all 5 skandhas are empty and transcended all suffering and distress. Relying on Prajnaparamita, the mind is without hindrance. Without hindrance, there is no fear. Free from inverted thinking and illusion, this is the ultimate nirvana. Gate Gate, Paragate, Parasamgate, Bodhisvaha. Gone, gone, gone beyond, gone far beyond, awakening, hail. Let the mind and life grow ever simpler. Xiefeng. June 5, 2025. Laozi said, "The great way is very plain. The great way is the way of the greatest creator. The way of the greatest creator is the way of nature. And the way of nature is very plain." What does very plain mean? It means natural, smooth, clear, and simple, not complicated, not extravagant, not deceptive, not reckless. To simplify the mind and life is to walk on the great way. Walking the great way means becoming one with the Tao. When you are one with the Tao, you become the Tao itself. To become the Tao is to enter higher life spaces and begin living the life of heaven. Seeking simplicity may seem ordinary at first, but the result can be unexpectedly profound. This is the subtle truth that by selflessness one fulfills oneself, and through egolessness one completes the true self. Let's take food as an example to explore the deeper meaning of simplicity. A person can live a long and healthy life just by drinking boiled water and eating steamed cornbread and pickled vegetables. Look, survival is not difficult. If you let go of soft drinks, alcohol, and all sorts of dishes and delicacies, doesn't life become very simple? Then why crave coffee or dream of lavish banquets? Why feel bitter or upset when seeing others indulge in exotic cuisine? Why let ridicule or scorn from others disrupt your inner peace? If your heart is firmly rooted in the Tao, you will live a simple life. And what will that lead to? Most likely, a high-quality life beyond others' reach. The issue is, people struggle to persist in simplicity. Most desire a life of luxury and indulgence. And what's the result? In the end, they become ordinary people stuck in mediocrity. The simpler the mind, the more at ease one lives. The more complicated the mind, the more likely one is to turn into a demon or monster. Don't believe it? Look at many who study Buddhism, they often end up twisted and confused. Practicing Buddhism is actually very simple, just let your true nature shine. But instead of doing that, people get entangled in endless conceptual knots. Or take Wang Yanming's idea of investigating things to attain knowledge. It sounds so lofty, yet after all the investigating, what is really gained? Often, nothing. People just turn themselves into strange beings. And what is investigating things? It's simply reading the revelations of heaven, reading the sky, the earth, human beings, and phenomena, and from these, perceiving even a trace of nature's wisdom. That alone is already remarkable. From the perspective of simplicity, all long-winded writings that try to preach or moralize often lead people astray, into the realms of demons and monsters. The more you read or listen to them, the more likely you are to lose your true nature and become something neither fully human nor fully ghost. Being human is simple. If something falls from the sky, rises from the ground, or is given for free, if it wasn't earned through your own effort, don't take it. If you can follow this, how could you still be easily deceived? How could you still fall into traps woven by demons and monsters? Drink boiled water. Eat pickled vegetables and steamed cornbread. Live freely and at ease. Why chase after all the unnecessary frills? If you no longer want to live as a human but wish to become a Buddha, it's simple, let your true nature express itself. If you want to become an immortal, even simpler, repay your debts, sever worldly ties, accumulate a little merit and purify the impurities in your soul. That's all it takes. To make everything simpler is to walk the great way. To make everything more complicated is to follow the demonic path. Anyone who incites you daily to think about money and chase after wealth is undoubtedly acting under demonic instigation, and such a path inevitably leads to hell. Everything is fixed and determined. Xie Feng. June 9, 2025. The universe has operated in perfect order for billions of years. It has not collapsed or burned itself out because everything within it runs according to predetermined programs. At the core of these programs are numbers, the mathematical laws that govern all things. These numbers are fixed, they do not change with time or space. Since the numbers that sustain the sun, the moon, the stars, mountains, rivers, fields, insects, fish, birds, animals, and all things are fixed and unchanging, the future of all things is likewise determined. Those destined to reincarnate will surely reincarnate. Those destined to become celestial beings will surely become celestial beings. From this, we can see that one destined to starve will certainly starve. One destined to be swept away by a flood will surely be swept away. No force can stop a person bound for hell, and no demon can prevent a person destined for heaven from reaching it. We can also observe this truth in human nature: a person's innate nature is extremely difficult to change. Even if gods, Buddhas, celestial beings, or saints were standing right beside them, they could not alter that person's nature or fate. As the saying goes, it is easier to move mountains and rivers than to change one's nature. In truth, it is harder to awaken a person than to awaken an animal. The future is fixed, just as winter is always followed by spring, summer by autumn, and an apple tree will always bear apples, never watermelons. Human beings will one day die, this too is certain and unchanging. No matter how one struggles or strives, those destined to enjoy blessings will enjoy them, those destined to suffer will suffer. Understanding this brings great peace of mind. If someone wishes to hang themselves, let them. If someone wishes to drown themselves, let them. If someone chooses to be consumed by depression and anguish, let them. If someone seeks to become a celestial being, let them play and explore their path. Everyone beats their own drum and acts out their own role. There is no need to become entangled, nor to scheme to save or indulge others. Simply be an observer, not a participant, even toward your closest family and friends. Observe them, there is no need to correct or encourage. The future is fixed and determined, human efforts can do nothing to change another's destiny. Even parents cannot alter their children's futures, nor can children change the fate of their parents in the slightest. Since the future is fixed, why be anxious? Why worry or fear? What is meant to come will come, there is no avoiding it. What is meant to go will go, there is no stopping it. If you do not yet understand these words, you are still a human being. If you do understand these words, you are already a celestial being. The Ninth Insight, Chapter of Celestial Cultivation, Article 13. Xie Feng. June 9, 2006. Throughout human history, certain unexplained phenomena have emerged, one of the most intriguing being the collective disappearance of the Maya civilization. What caused the sudden vanishing of the vast majority of the Maya people? Anthropologists, historians, archaeologists, and scientists have all struggled to find a definitive explanation. Today, I will unveil the truth: the Maya people collectively ascended and became celestial beings. You may ask, is that possible? I assure you, this is a fact. Whoever masters this insight can become a celestial being. In South America, there is a historical site where ancient texts, commonly known as the Peruvian manuscripts, have been discovered over time. Among these manuscripts lies the ninth insight, which I will now briefly translate for your reflection and contemplation. When primitive humans came along, we continued this evolution unconsciously by conquering others, gaining energy, and moving forward a little bit, only to be conquered ourselves by someone else and lose that energy. This physical conflict continued until we invented democracy, a system that did not eliminate conflict but transformed it from a battle for material resources into a battle of ideologies. We are bringing this whole process into consciousness. We can see that all of human history has prepared us to achieve conscious evolution. Now, we can increase our energy and experience coincidences consciously. This carries evolution onward at a faster pace, lifting our vibrations even higher. Our destiny is to continue to increase our energy level. And as our energy level increases, the vibration of the atoms in our bodies also increases. This means that we are becoming lighter, more purely spiritual. As we humans continue to increase our vibration, an amazing phenomenon will begin to occur. A whole group of people, once they reach a certain level, will suddenly become invisible to those who are still vibrating at a lower frequency. To people on this lower level, it will seem that others have simply vanished, but the group themselves will feel as though they are still present, only they will feel lighter. When humans begin to raise their vibrations to a level where others cannot see them, it will signal that we are crossing the barrier between this life and the other world, from which we came and to which we go after death. This conscious crossing over is the path shown by Christ. He opened himself to energy so deeply that he became so light he could walk on water. He transcended death right here on earth and was the first to cross over, to expand the physical world into the spiritual. His life demonstrated how to do this, and if we connect with the same source, we can head in the same direction, step by step. At some point, everyone will vibrate highly enough so that we can walk into heaven, in our same form. The more beauty we perceive, the more we evolve. The more we evolve, the higher we vibrate. The ninth insight reveals that ultimately, our increasing perception and vibration will open us up to a heaven that is already before us. We just can't see it yet. Final thoughts. That concludes my translation of the ninth insight. I hope that the knowledge I have shared will strengthen your will and confidence in pursuing the path of celestial cultivation. Ultimately, the journey of transcendence must be discovered by oneself. The path is yours to walk. Those who weigh gains and losses are not celestial beings. Xie Feng. July 11, 2012. The difficulty of survival compels us to weigh pros and cons in all matters, ultimately choosing whatever benefits us the most. If given the chance, we all hope to have the best of both worlds, keep multiple options open, and even with a raincoat, we'd still want an umbrella, just in case. Everyone longs for the life of a celestial being, yet when a true celestial arrives to lead us into paradise, we hesitate. We overthink, we waver, we doubt, and we are reluctant to let go of what we already have. We choose the safest path. We assume the celestial will always be with us, that the sun and moon will always shine, so we dawdle, look around, and feel no urgency. If we don't seize the present moment, everything will slip away. The past cannot be retrieved, the future cannot be grasped, only the present is in our hands. To waste the present is to waste the future. If the present is ugly, the future will be ugly, if the present is beautiful, the future will be beautiful. One's state of being at the moment of death determines their future after death. Therefore, the present shapes the future. If you do not accumulate virtue now, when will you? If you do not let go now, when will you let go? If you do not become a celestial now, when will you ever become one? Life is short, time flies, and no one can foresee the next second. Heaven may bring sudden storms, misfortune may strike at dawn or dusk. To abandon the present and pin hope on tomorrow is to chase an illusion. We must never expect miracles to fall from the sky. We must not dream of a bright future arriving effortlessly. Those who are greedy and selfish will never enjoy a radiant future. Those who are often jealous, complaining, angry, or resentful will find only suffering as their companion. When we become smug over unearned gains and take things for granted, believing that everything can be easily attained without effort, that is precisely when we are squandering the blessings accumulated from past lives and planting the seeds of future suffering. Those who constantly weigh gains and losses are not celestial beings. A person who is overly rational often lacks is an ocean of suffering. I came with nothing, now I return to nothing, a wondrous realm of bliss, without attachment, without possession. The true essence of life, no eyes, ears, nose, tongue, body, or mind, no form, sound, smell, taste, touch, or dharma, neither birth nor death, neither defilement nor purity, neither increase nor decrease. Life is but a play, its length matters not, nor do longevity or brevity, gain or loss, victory or defeat. All rise and fall, ebb and flow. When one triumphs in the world, one may be losing in heaven. The vast and boundless cosmos, return to the zero state. Endless transformations, boundless change. In non-action, all is accomplished, in action, some things are done, and some things must be left undone. There is no aging in death, nor an end to aging in death. When one door closes, 9 doors open. This shore is that shore, this moment is that moment. Joy here, joy there, suffering here, suffering there. If unaware in this moment, one will remain lost in that. The sea of suffering is vast, the vicissitudes of the human world are endless, the flash of blades, the shadow of swords, gossip and slander. By the power of Prajnaparamita, the mind is free of hindrance. Without hindrance, there is no fear. Freed from inverted illusions, one reaches ultimate nirvana. Nirvana is the zero state is supreme bliss. Selflessness completes the self, emptiness brings forth fullness, no self accomplishes the self, formlessness manifests form. The second home, a paradise of life, few in the mortal world have the blessing to experience its joy. Yet we attain Anuttara Samyak Sambodhi, giving without attachment, its merit beyond comprehension. Though many criticize and slander, it is of no concern. Though suppression and persecution arise, the will of heaven cannot be stopped. Time and space flow onward, the path turns and twists. Life is but a journey, not the destination. Do not be distracted by the glitter of lights and pleasures, wealth and fame are but floating clouds. Tides rise and fall, flowers bloom and fade, birth and death cycle endlessly, there is nothing new under the sun. The 5 aggregates are empty, return often to the zero state. This is the wondrous path to eternal bliss. Adversity and prosperity arise from the mind, good fortune hides within misfortune, misfortune leans on good fortune. Why cling to joy or sorrow? When celestial spirit enters the heart, the boundless universe becomes a wondrous realm. Every moment of life is filled with joy. Flow with fate, be free and at ease. Move when it is time to move, rest when it is time to rest. Be carefree whether in haste or in leisure. Be free in this shore and this moment, be free in that shore and that moment. Chanyuan celestials, celestial herbs, nurtured by the spirit of heaven and earth, nourished by the essence of sun and moon. Entering the world, one opens the celestial path, departing the world, one enters the celestial islands. Be unattached to the splendors of the mortal world. Pay no heed to birth, aging, illness, or death. Be carefree and graceful, smile in the celestial realm. The world weeps for me, the celestial realm smiles upon me. Hell howls at me, supreme bliss beckons me. Coming or going, it matters not, all is entrusted to the will of heaven. Mortal affairs are as fleeting as the bloom of the ephemeral flower. With a mortal heart in motion and a celestial heart in stillness, a gentle smile. From this point on, only celestial beings and Buddhas may follow me. Xie Feng. February 28, 2014. Worldly sentiments and mundane affairs are endless. The first leg of the Chanyuan journey has come to an end. From here on, the human path ceases. Only the path of celestial beings and Buddhas remains. So let it be clear. From now on, only celestial beings and Buddhas may walk with me. As a celestial being, you must be joyful and happy every day. I do not care what reasons or excuses you have, what hardships you face, or what suffering you endure. If you are not joyful, not light-hearted, if you carry worry, attachment, fear, or sorrow, then you are still human, not a celestial being. You may no longer walk with me. As a Buddha, you must dwell in constant serenity. Let the winds shift and the clouds surge. Let death stand before you, your heart must remain unmoved. Without a ripple, without complaint. You are like water. Round when in a round vessel, square in a square one. You stop when it's time to stop, move when it's time to move. You are without self, yet utterly free. As a celestial being or Buddha, you carry no personal problems. No troubles of thought, emotion, life, or work. If you are still entangled in difficulties, you are still human, not a celestial being, not a Buddha. I wish to walk this path with freedom and grace. I have spoken and written clearly how to handle every challenge. If you still come to ask me, then you are like lifeless wood that cannot be carved. And I, too, lose my ease and elegance. If you are full of problems, you are not a ripe crop. If you bring me burdens and troubles, you are not the life I seek. I did not come to solve your issues. Your life is yours to live, your difficulties, yours to resolve. Those I lead forward are lives without burdens, without sorrow or complaint. They laugh, joke, and rejoice all day long, light, joyful, and free. Life is fleeting. The path of celestial being is long. Where is there time or energy to deal with the trifles of the mortal world? So, if you know you are a celestial being, walk with me. If you know you are a Buddha, walk with me. But if you still cling to the illusions of the world, still dwell in dreams and fantasies, then do not follow me. You will be seized by fear and doubt, and you will not reach the end of the path. If you cannot become a celestial being or Buddha now, you will not have another chance. Transcend time and space, ascend as celestial beings. Xie Feng. March 1, 2014. Chanyuan Celestials have poured heart and soul into humanity. We pioneered a perfect way of production and life, pointed the way toward humanity's future, and opened a brand new path. If humanity follows this road, it can reach the realm it has dreamed of for thousands of years. A world where the virtuous are not left behind, where the whole world is one family. Where each gives according to ability and receives according to need. Where lost items remain untouched on the ground, doors remain unlocked at night, rains come in season, and peace prevails under heaven. A world where all are carefree, joyful, free, and blessed. A future where humanity can thrive sustainably. After years of tireless devotion, we gave everything. Now, all that we created for humanity has been destroyed. This is not our fault, it is humanity's own choice. Henceforth, we shall no longer involve ourselves in human affairs. Our debts are paid. Our merits are fulfilled. Now, it is time to attain fruition and roam freely. Time for us to ascend as celestial beings. Let us, from this moment on, enter the celestial realm in the state of celestial beings. Family, state, and world affairs, not my concern. Fire, flood, smog, I remain unmoved. Strife, slaughter, and greed, human calamities, unrelated to me. Riots and war, I watch with calm detachment. Famine and refugees roaming the earth, let it be. Cries that shake the heavens, I hear, but do not respond. The dead strewn about, suicides on the rise, I see, but do not react. Religious and ethnic strife, I do not ask, I do not listen. The rise of money, power, fame, and lust, no interest at all. If my home is taken, my wealth seized, I give it away. Clothed in rags, owning nothing, I learn from the wild. Slandered, insulted, attacked, suppressed, I yield. Framed, imprisoned, even driven to death, so be it. I do not argue. I do not contend. You live your life, I walk my path. No complaints, no cries of injustice. No blame toward heaven, no blame toward man. I follow the way and go with the flow. No one to love, no one to hate. This life is but a fleeting dream. Why cling to right or wrong? Live each day singing, carefree and untroubled. If death comes the next moment, I welcome it without fear. No seeking, no desire. Act when it's time to act, rest when it's time to rest. Even in haste, stay in the way, free and unbound. Nothing weighs on the heart. Nothing is clung to. Adapt to circumstances with ease, transform with the flow of life's affinities, act in alignment with one's true nature, and respond to the call of the moment. No nostalgia for the mortal world. No attachment to humankind. No clinging to life. No sentimentality for affection. We are celestial beings of the 1,000-year world. Roaming freely, joyfully, and at ease. The first chapter has ended. From this moment, we begin the next. Cultivating Celestial Grace and the Essence of the Tao. Xie Feng. January 30, 2016. The grace of celestial beings, the essence of the Tao, pure as ice, flawless as jade. The melodies of Qin, seven-stringed zither, and Shao, vertical bamboo flute, echo through serene valleys. With music, chess, painting, and calligraphy, with plum blossoms, orchids, bamboo, and chrysanthemums, with crystal-clear waters gently flowing toward the horizon, a scene of ethereal elegance unfolds. A soft breeze stirs, 100 flowers bloom, subtle fragrance wafts through the air, and the quiet courtyard shines in serene clarity. Distant mountains wear a veil of indigo, nearby, the earth is blanketed in green. Birds perch gently, their soft songs flowing like nature's poetry. On lotus ponds and silver lakes, ripples shimmer, a boat glides skyward, leaving behind a trail of freedom and grace. With poetry, dance, and swordplay like brushstrokes in air, the cultivated spirit radiates elegance and freedom. Whether walking, standing, sitting, or lying down, each movement flows like the soaring flight of phoenixes and cranes. The dwelling is serene and refined, bright windows, clean desk, and the delicate fragrance of chrysanthemum tea rising softly. Every expression, be it a frown, a smile, joy, or displeasure, reveals the bearing of a celestial kingdom. 1,000 charms and myriad graces stir awe and admiration. Exceptional talent, poised bearing, and the charm of a celestial being captivate scholars and beauties alike. Like a lotus blooming from water, like a kunpeng, mythical fish bird symbolizing limitless flight, soaring through the sky, transcendent, unworldly, above the dust of the mortal realm, so radiant that even worldly powers bow in admiration. Living in the second home, composing timeless beauty, our destiny is bound to the celestial island continents. Celestial grace refers to the bearing, elegance, demeanor, temperament, and style of a celestial being. Taoist essence is the inner light and power that emanates from one who has attained the Tao, the boldness of spirit, the grace of presence, the courage and insight of one who sees clearly, the charisma that draws others, and an inner elegance untouched by vulgarity. To embody these qualities, one must first transcend the mundane, to become radiant, refined, and unbound by worldly concerns. One must possess both inner refinement and outer grace, cultured, noble, pure as ice and jade, versed in the arts, gentle, still, and harmonious. Taoist essence is the inner core, celestial grace is the outer manifestation. Without inner depth, no ornament can create true presence, without external refinement, the essence remains unseen. Therefore, to cultivate the grace of a celestial being and the essence of the Tao, one must cultivate both the within and the without. The 8 inner qualities of Taoist essence. A mind free of attachment. Transcendence beyond the ordinary. Rising above the dusty world. Outstanding talent and creativity. Freedom and spontaneity. Simplicity and elegance. A harmonious blend of resilience and grace. The graceful control of expression and restraint. The 8 outer qualities of celestial grace. Graceful and dignified bearing. Refined and gentle demeanor. Infinite charm and charisma. A radiance that brightens all around. Immaculate purity and effortless elegance. Mastery of the arts, music, chess, painting, and calligraphy. Pure as ice, clear as jade. Effortless elegance and natural freedom. To cultivate these 16 qualities is not the task of a day or a year. The inner cultivation alone takes many years of silent refinement. As for outer grace, it requires both conscious practice and a suitable environment: blue skies and white clouds, green mountains and flowing water, shimmering lakes and majestic mountains, peaceful gardens and quiet forest paths, the scent of flowers, birdsong, kindred spirits, music, chess, painting, and calligraphy, a life rich in music, dance, and artistic expression, as well as abundant material support. Why must we cultivate the grace of celestial beings and the essence of the Tao? Because these are the essential attributes for ascending to the 1,000-year world, the 10,000-year world, and the celestial islands continent of the Elysium world. 6.4. 64 Subtleties for Cultivating Celestial Grace and the Essence of the Tao. Xiefeng. January 31, 2016. In the preceding article, Cultivating Celestial Grace and the Essence of the Tao, we explored the 8 inner and 8 outer qualities that give rise to celestial grace and the essence of the Tao. This article reveals 64 specific subtleties that give form to those qualities. As the saying goes, great undertakings are rooted in subtle details. No matter how magnificent the vision, it is built upon the precision of each detail. When every detail is tended to with care, the greater goal will naturally be fulfilled. Let the heart dwell nowhere, move in accord with innate nature. Hold to nothing, be at peace with whatever arises. Follow no fixed path, transform in accordance with karmic connections. Harbor no intention, act as the moment calls. Be unmoved by money, power, fame, or sensual attraction. Be unmoved by any form of self-interest. Be untouched by worldly concerns or emotional attachments. Be unmoved by glory, luxury, or status. Do not die for a nation. Do not die for a religion. Do not die for a political party. Do not die for a family. Read sacred texts or contemplate revelation in moments of stillness. Do all things with excellence and clarity, leave no regret behind. In the face of events, remain calm and unhurried. Act with the force and swiftness of thunder and lightning. Be bound by neither circumstances nor emotion. Be constrained by neither power nor gain. Be limited by neither morality nor convention. Be held by neither ideology nor doctrine. Do not act or be troubled by food, clothing, shelter, transportation, birth, aging, illness, or death. Do not seek glory, extravagance, or a name in history. Be serene and desireless, be in unity with nature. Use simple and elegant things, be pure and graceful in manner. Never bully or humiliate those weaker than you. Never mistreat the lonely or helpless. Never flatter or bow before the powerful. Do not fear those with power or who rely on brute strength. Avoid stirring up trouble or gossip. Do not chase after fame or those in the spotlight. Keep away from noisy places and trouble-filled scenes. Do not dwell in sorrow over the departed, do not cling to the past. Dress in clean, simple, and elegant clothing, avoid bright red or green. Hair and clothing should be flowing and graceful, free of bulkiness or awkwardness. Keep the body clean and subtly fragrant, avoid disheveled hair, grime, or heavy makeup. Keep your living space serene and elegant, avoid dusty tables or cluttered messes. Keep books and instruments at hand, hang calligraphy or plaques such as Ode to the Humble Room. Let sunlight and moonlight shine in, use simple sheer curtains that allow the breeze to pass through. Have a courtyard with plum, orchid, bamboo, and chrysanthemum, include flowing water, a lotus pond is even better. Carry yourself with dignity, every movement should be measured and composed. Speak little, convey meaning through posture, expression, and the eyes. Let men be bold, and women reserved, avoid vulgarity or loss of composure. Speak with refinement, gently, with rhythm and poise, neither rushed nor dragging. In conversation, avoid arguing or interrupting others. Do not gossip, dwell on worldly affairs, pry into privacy, or speak of vulgar matters. Do not speak of money, gain, fame, power, or today's wealthy and celebrities. Whatever you speak of, never curse others, insult ancestors or leaders, or show disrespect to the greatest creator, gods, celestial beings, or saints. Master one musical instrument, one form of chess, one kind of dance, or swordsmanship, and one form of calligraphy or painting. Know how to drink, sing, dance, engage in pleasant talk, and enjoy subtle humor. Know how to admire flowers, walk in nature, enjoy elegant pleasures, and flirt gracefully. Know how to smile, be annoyed, cry, or feel anger, but never shout or wail. Do not grumble, speak oddly, talk of ghosts or rumors, or plot secret affairs. Do not grumble, complain, blame, envy, or compare. Do not speak of illness, love, hunger, cold, or heat. Respect beggars and vagabonds, respect everyone. Begin with lightness like clouds and mist, end with clarity and precision. Walk, stand, sit, and lie down with the bearing of a celestial being, command with bold vision and profound strategy. Speak clearly, concisely, and precisely, no wasted words. Always keep the gaze level, neither lowered nor raised too high. Be resolute and swift, never sluggish or indecisive. Relate to others with fluidity and grace, always leave room. Leave when you say you will, stop when you decide to, eat and play without delay. Love one animal, befriend rare flowers and exotic plants. Remain in the state of Hundun. Live out these 64 subtleties, and the grace of celestial beings and the essence of the Tao will arise naturally. May we all cultivate these qualities and ascend to the peaks of life and life. Becoming a celestial being, and the necessary conditions. Xie Feng. May 28, 2016. There is an old saying. Even the